first version of the Open Graph. And so along with that and other features, we introduced the like button. And so millions of people around the world have used the like button since to like news articles, movies, pages, team sports, whichever type of content on the web. But what we realized is that liking isn't everything. And so in September 2011, at the last IFATE, we introduced a new version of the Open Graph, allowing you to express what you really think and do, what the like button couldn't do. And so the new Open Graph allows users to connect to any kind of objects, using any kind of action, up to your imagination. And so let's have a look at, in real life of how this works. So this is my colleague, Simon Cross, partner engineer as well, sitting with me in London. And he's a dear friend of me, and he's known in the office to have great music taste. And so he uses Spotify, SoundCloud, and apps that have successfully integrated on the Open Graph to listen to music. And so when he listens to music, for instance on Spotify, it pushes music to the Open Graph. And so somehow it allows him to define his identity by pushing his musical taste on his timeline. And by doing so, it allows me to discover music through him. Music that I maybe wouldn't have discovered otherwise. Now, with the new Open Graph, you get more distribution through new social channels. So we just saw the timeline. But by allowing your app to write to the Open Graph, you essentially allow the Open Graph and Facebook to write to Newsfeed, Flickr, and Timeline, as we just saw. And so today we're here at M2D2 Mobile Monday to talk about mobile. And so why is this? Because mobile apps have become really, really important in our lives. And this is because mobile devices are the only devices we have on our body almost all the time. When we meet with friends, when we go out for dinner, when we go at work, when we go home, we almost always have the mobile devices on ourselves. And so apps are so much better when they're social. Think of examples as FoodSpot, allowing you to discover new restaurants because friends of yours have pushed pictures of plates that they ate at these restaurants. Think of apps like Netflix, allowing you to discover new movies based on what your friends have been watching. Now, the issue here is that app discovery, as of today, isn't social, okay? It should be. The first thing a friend of yours does when he buys a new phone, Android or iOS or whichever kind of phone, is sending you a text or calling you and asking, hey, which app should I be installing? And so if you combine those two problems, you get the biggest problems that mobile developers face today, and this is fragmentation. We've seen it ourselves. We've tried to connect hundreds of millions of users using various platforms. And so let's have a look at a couple of companies and apps that have done it successfully, building mobile apps across platforms and that have successfully integrated on top of the Open Graph. So you may be familiar with The Guardian. The Guardian is a very famous newspaper in the UK, and so they've built mobile apps. And so when integrating with the Open Graph, it went from 0 to 3.9 million active users in less than 5 months. And why is that? Because by integrating with the Open Graph on the website, by integrating with the Open Graph on mobile, if I read an article on my Guardian iPhone app and pushes that to the Open Graph, then Andreas on his desktop version in his browser, he can see it in ticker that I'm reading an article. And so he can click it and start reading the same article I'm reading on his desktop. He can do it the same on the Android app, and he can do the same on the mobile version, HTML5 app. Goodreads, another example. Goodreads is an iOS app that allows you to get recommendations on books you should be reading based on what your friends likes and what your friends have been reading. And they noticed 77% increase in daily active users. So when you create new connections with people, they also